Right now, as you watch this, your internet traffic is being routed through networks run by strangers. Governments you don't trust. Countries you've never visited. Companies you've never heard of. And if any one of them decided to redirect your data, read your emails, log your bank password, you would never know.
April 24th, 2018. For 90 minutes, billions of requests to Google, Gmail logins, YouTube searches, private emails were routed through Russia. Not because Russia hacked anything, because a small ISP in Moscow simply announced, "We're the best path to Google." And every router on Earth believed them.
Google didn't authorize it. Users never knew. Everything looked normal. But for 90 minutes, Russian servers could see everything. When someone noticed, the announcement was withdrawn. Google published a vague statement. The world moved on, and nobody asked the obvious question. If it was that easy, why doesn't this happen constantly? It does. Last year alone, 2,400 confirmed hijacks. That's 7 per day. September 2022, $3 million stolen in 30 minutes. April 2025, a hijack so sophisticated the victim couldn't even detect it was happening. And you? You've probably been hijacked and never knew. Here's why. The internet isn't one network. It's 70,000 separate networks, chained together like highway systems. To get from your laptop to YouTube, your data hops through your ISP's roads, then a transit provider's highways, then Google's network. Each hop, a different company, a different country, a different set of rules. It's like if anyone could edit Google Maps, claim the fastest route to the airport goes through their house, and every car would trust them and drive there. That's BGP, built on total blind trust. And it's not a bug. In 1989, when this was designed, the internet was 500 networks, universities, research institutions. Everyone knew everyone. If you lied about routes, you'd get a phone call. You'd be blacklisted. Trust worked because the community was small and accountable. That internet died 30 years ago. Today, 70,000 networks run by ISPs in countries with no extradition treaties, state intelligence agencies, criminal syndicates, authoritarian governments. And we're still using the protocol designed for 500 trusted professors. So when Russia announces, "Send Google traffic through us," the internet complies. When China Telecom announces, "Route US military network traffic through Beijing," which they've done repeatedly, accidentally, they claim, routers around the world just update and obey. June 2024. Cloudflare's DNS resolver, used by 100 million people to translate website names into addresses, hijacked by a Brazilian ISP. For hours, large parts of the internet simply stopped working. not because Cloudflare's servers failed, because the routing system told the world to send traffic to a dead end. April 2025. Researchers discovered a stealthy hijack. The victim network had deployed the latest security. Their routing tables looked perfect. Their monitoring showed nothing wrong. But their traffic was being quietly siphoned through foreign networks that don't validate routes. Their users' data? Gone. Bank logins, medical records, intercepted, logged, stored. Now imagine this done intentionally. When you control the route, you control the data. A hostile government announces they're the path to your bank. Your login request, username, password, account balance gets routed through their servers first. They read it, they log it. They modify the web page to show a fake balance. They inject code to steal your next transaction. Or they just let it pass through clean and store everything for later. You refresh the page. Your balance looks fine. You'd never know. They don't need to hack the bank. They don't need to break encryption. The internet voluntarily handed them your data because a 1989 protocol said to trust them. 2022. Attackers hijacked routing to a crypto exchange, redirected users to a perfect clone of the login page, stole $3 million in 30 minutes. By the time the exchange noticed, attackers were gone. Money unrecoverable. Between 2017 and 2024, over 200 documented incidents of Chinese state telecom providers announcing routes to U.S. financial institutions, defense networks, government agencies. Minutes to hours of American internet traffic flowing through Beijing. Every single time. China Telecom called it a misconfiguration. The worst part? Most hijacks are invisible. Your bank loads, Netflix streams, email sends. Feels normal. You have no idea your session detoured through a foreign intelligence agency. Now here's what should make you furious. We've had the fix for 15 years. The solution is called RPKI, Resource Public Key Infrastructure. It works like this. Instead of blindly trusting route announcements, networks must provide cryptographic proof they're authorized. Think requiring a key only Google holds before you can claim to be the path to Google. No key? Announcement rejected. Instantly. It's not trust, it's math. Proposed in 2008. Production ready in 2011. 2011. So obviously it's deployed everywhere by now, right? As of 2025, 51% of internet routes have cryptographic signatures. But signing means nothing unless networks actually validate those signatures before accepting routes. Current validation rate? Under 40%. In February 2026, last month, Sparkle, one of the largest internet backbone providers on Earth, finally started rejecting invalid routes. They carry traffic for hundreds of millions of people, and they just now started checking. Which means 60% of the internet still operates exactly like 1989.
Someone announces a route. They accept it, no questions asked. And if even 10% of networks don't validate, attackers just route through them. The whole security model collapses.
Why hasn't this been fixed? Not technology, not cost, incentives. Deploying RPKI costs each ISP money, engineering time, equipment upgrades, coordination. But if they don't deploy it, their network is fine. It's everyone else's traffic that gets hijacked when it passes through. So they delay, quarter after quarter, year after year after year. Everyone is safer if everyone deploys RPKI, but each network pays the cost individually. Classic tragedy of the commons. And there's no regulation forcing them. No penalty for ignoring it, no deadline. It's voluntary. The U.S. government admits federal agencies are behind on deployment. CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is still working to get government networks secured. If the people responsible for national security can't deploy this, what hope does a regional ISP have? Meanwhile, we're in a dangerous transition. Some networks validate, most don't, and that patchwork is creating new attack vectors. Research published at NDSS 2026 shows attackers are exploiting the gaps. They route through non-validating networks, and protected networks can't see it happening. We thought partial deployment would make things better. It's making sophisticated attacks harder to detect. This isn't about websites going down anymore. BGP hijacking is infrastructure warfare. It's how you intercept a rival nation's communications, how you steal financial data at scale, how you sabotage critical systems. The next hospital ransomware attack could start with hijacked DNS. The next power grid failure could be triggered by rerouted control traffic. The next election interference campaign could intercept voting system updates. Once you control the internet's routing, you control everything that runs on it. And we're watching the capability proliferate. Nation-states sharing techniques. Criminal groups buying access to compromised networks. The barrier to entry dropping every year. Here's the trajectory. At current adoption rates, RPKI won't reach 80% global validation until 2031. 5 more years of 7 hijacks per day, 12,000 more incidents. How many will be state-sponsored intelligence operations we never hear about? How many will hit critical infrastructure? We built the internet on trust in 1989 because we were 500 researchers in the same professional community. Then we scaled it to 5 billion people. Connected hospitals, banks, power grids, military command systems, election infrastructure. And we kept the protocol, designed for 500 academics who trusted each other. The FCC opened an inquiry into BGP security in 2025. They're collecting public comments, studying the problem, considering options, asking questions. The vulnerability has existed for 37 years. The fix has existed for 15 years. And in 2026, the US government is still in the information gathering phase. The next time your internet slows down, your banking app times out, your video call drops mid-sentence. Maybe it's congestion, maybe it's a server restart, or maybe, right now, your data is taking a detour through a country that wants to read it. through a network that's logging who you talk to, what you search for, what you buy. And you will never know. Because the internet doesn't warn you when your traffic gets hijacked. It doesn't ask permission. It just routes your data to whoever claims to have the best path, and trusts they won't abuse it. In 1989, that trust was reasonable. In 2026, it's the vulnerability that could break everything. Want to know if you're protected? Go to isbgpssafeyet.com. Check if your country, your ISP, your network validates routes. Chances are, they don't. And until they do, you're trusting 70,000 strangers with every click. That's how the internet breaks. And unless something forces change, we'll keep watching it happen. 7 times a day, every day, until one of those hijacks hits something we can't recover from.